There's something about targeting big fish on the fly that quickly becomes addicting. You're meeting the fish on their own turf. They've been living in the river for years and they owe you nothing. But that's why we like it. The fish don't care about your status or how much money you have. They only care about their next meal. So time on the water is king and everything is earned. Welcome to another episode of Hardman Fishing Adventures.
Oh my God. Big fish, big fish, big fish, big fish. Huge fish. I'm gonna catch him, I'm gonna catch him, I'm gonna catch him, I'm gonna catch him, I'm gonna catch him. Got him. There it is, boys.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So I am actually in town for 4th of July weekend, and I'm sitting there and it's raining, it's thundering. Air temps dropped from like in the mid 80s to down around 65 or so, like mid 60s. And I'm watching the gauges kind of spike a little bit too. So I'm gonna go see if I can't catch a brown trout. I'm gonna try to streamer fish. If I can't streamer fish, then I might try to catch them on nymphs. It really depends on what the water looks like. But anyway, I'm gonna stop talking and start driving because I'm already late as it is. So let's do it.
Got him. Jeez, that was so cool. He's not like a huge fish, but he's a decent one. I'll take him. First fish of the day. Streamer fish. Come here, buddy. I know. There we go. Let's go. I mean, he's not big. He's maybe 16 to 18, but we pop you off real quick there, buddy. Beautiful male fish. Look at this guy. Wow, what an awesome brown trout. Seriously. Ooh, look at that. That was so cool. Oh, that was so cool. You missed it again? You missed that thing twice. You didn't expect a brown to miss. Oh, God! No, dude! God, that pisses me off. Such a catchable fish, man. You missed that dang thing twice. That third time you should have eaten it. Big fish, big fish, big fish, big fish. Huge fish. I'm gonna catch him, I'm gonna catch him, I'm gonna catch him, I'm gonna catch him, I'm gonna catch him. You're a nymph, you're a nymph, you're a nymph, you're a nymph. He's sitting on that rock. I know exactly where he's sitting. I'm ready for this exact scenario. Gotta get closer to the rock, I think. Huge brown trout. It's much better. Put that sink in there. Got him. There it is, boys. Oh, this could be really bad. Oh my gosh. Don't you dare do that. Stay on this side. this is gonna be a fight and a half, boys. There's a lot of crap in here for him to sit on. He's going up the creek and I kinda have to follow him, unfortunately. He's still going. Don't go over there. Okay, we still got him. He's not ready, but I should be. Thought he was bigger when he moved in the streamer, but he's a nice fish. If I can lift his head, I'd put him in right now. It's gotta be the fish. He's sitting around that rock. Okay, he's not quite ready. That was exciting. Chill out, buddy. Can you lift your head for me? Got him. That's it, boys. That's another 20. Probably 21-ish. That little... Is he still stuck? Yeah. That little thing I do where I find him with the streamer and then follow him up with the nymph is being particularly good right now. That fish moved off that rock with the streamer and I just sat there for a second and followed up with the nymph rod, and he ate it. Eventually, it took a few casts. Holy shit. That's a big boy. I'm gonna grab the nymph rod real quick, see if I can catch him. All right, guys, so I got the nymphs. It took me a while because I forgot that I broke off the last hole, so I had to retie the whole thing, and then I made it too long, but I'm refused to change it. So here we are. We'll see if we can't get that brown to eat. I would guess he was probably 20-ish. He was sitting like on this wall, so we'll see what happens. Got him. Is that not incredible how predictable that is? Well, he's a strong fish. I can't let him get up there. We'll be in trouble. We'll be in a lot of trouble. Oh my gosh. Come back down. Thank gosh, dude. If he got up there, it was over before it started. Where's my net at even? He's probably a 20. Oh, don't go down either, or to that log. He's got a lot of places he could go. Don't go down, please don't go down. Thank you, buddy. Don't you, I said don't go down, and don't go over there. He ain't ready yet, boys. There he goes. Hey, I'm not mad about that, that was cool. He wasn't like a, I mean, he's a big fish, but he probably wasn't a, you know, he wasn't like a, he's probably like a 2021er. Oh gosh, nearly died right there. Jesus Christ! How is he missing that? Oh my God, that was a big fish. Oh. I'm about to pass out, dude. Can't tell if I hooked a big fish or not. So I tried to nymph. Oh yeah, it's a nice brown. I bet that's the brown that was jumping out of the water from my streamer. I had my nymph with me. Oh, it's a good brown, real good brown. Tighten my drag a little bit. Oh, buddy, that's got to be the fish that was eating my streamer. So I came back with a nymph and tried to hit it because I had my nymph rod with me. And we got ourselves the first, and this is for sure a 20, I would assume. Oh yeah, he's a 20. Let's pull you down this way. I would assume this was the fish that was swinging around at me. It's hard to prove it any other way. It's hard to prove. I mean, there could be more than one big fish in here, but I'm trying to net him as quick as possible. Turn back to me, my friend. He's not quite ready. I can tell because I can't quite turn his head back this way. He doesn't want to go yet. I always just kind of make figure eights with fish until they act like they're ready. I would assume this is the fish that was hitting the streamer. I don't know why it wouldn't be. And there could be other big fish in here, and there probably might be, but all right, let's see if he's ready now. Oh man, dude, he's just not ready. God bless America. God bless America. He's about ready now. He's getting there. Come on, buddy. There he is. And there's a 20. Might be 21. I would be shocked if that was not the fish that was swung at the, and he's off. All right, guys, so this fish basically was literally jumping out of the water from my streamer. It hit like 2 or 3 times. At least I assume it's this fish. And then I just went and grabbed my nymph, or my nymph setup, and started nymphing this hole. It maybe took me maybe 10 casts or so, maybe a dozen. And I felt thud, and I set the hook, and honest to God, at first, I thought I was just stuck on the bottom. Like I thought I hooked a log, because I set and started moving. There was no head shakes or anything. And then this fish just took off, and it's a nice fish with a weird bite mark out of its dorsal. So, beautiful brown though. Look at that fish. That is an incredible looking brown trout. Get this old boy released and then keep on fishing up the creek. Let's do it. So let's talk about this technique real quick because it's a pretty simple thought process behind it, and as you can tell, it's ridiculously effective. So the idea is to move a bunch of water with a streamer because streamer fishing is way quicker, or at least how I do it, it's way quicker. I won't cast more than a half dozen times into a particular hole or pocket. If I don't move anything, I move on because even if there's fish there, they're clearly not active, and if they're not active, I don't care about them. So I can move a lot of water very quickly and move some pretty big fish, usually with a streamer. And the idea is that once I know that that fish is there, I can come back in an hour or in a couple days, and usually about, I'd say maybe half the time, or maybe a little over half the time, you can catch that fish on a nymph if you know exactly where he's sitting. Now the problem with nymphing long stretches of river or creek is that it takes so long to do it if you truly nymph correctly. And by nymph correctly, I mean, you could see in this video, it took me, 10 casts at a rock to be able to catch the fish that was sitting under the rock. So for me to go through and cast a dozen times at each rock and each log and each undercut and each current seam, it would just take a lot of time, and you'd catch a bunch of fish, a bunch of the smaller fish, which is not a bad thing, and it's something that I do a lot. But if you're truly looking for big fish, it helps to have confidence and to know exactly where that big fish is sitting. And the way I get the confidence is to go in there with a streamer and I move the fish on a streamer. So I'll move the fish on a streamer, and let's say it comes from this really deep undercut.
I will turn around and grab the nymphing rod, maybe that day or maybe 2 or 3 days later, and I'll nymph that stretch really, really hard. And because I know that fish is in there, it gives me the confidence to sit there for 30 minutes and fish that very thoroughly with different flies, different weighted flies, experimenting with different drifts, and you can really learn how to fish a particular hole and kind of put together a pattern on what the brown trout will eat. Now, people ask me a lot, like, what flies are you using? What's your setup? All that fun stuff. And I'm a big believer that fly selection is less important than a lot of people think. I think as long as you get the fly down in front of the fish's face, they'll usually eat it. Having said that, when I'm euro-nymphing or just tight lining in general, a lot of times my point fly, at least when I'm brown trout or fishing for big browns, my point fly will be a big Pat's rubber leg or some kind of stonefly imitator, just because I can get those really deep, and in my mind, if there's a bigger fly, the bigger browns might move a little bit further for a bigger fly than they would a tiny little fly. And my tag nymph is usually something smaller, maybe like size 16 or size 18, and it's usually some variation of either a pheasant tail or a hare's ear or something along those lines. Obviously, I only showed the successful parts of this. I probably went about 50%. So if I moved 10 browns that day, I probably caught 5 out of the 10 browns on a nymph that I would move with a streamer. But still, that kind of increases your odds of catching the fish. And if it's a really big fish, like if it's a 26, 28, whatever the heck your big fish is for your creek, if it's really big, you can spend a lot more time and really pick apart the seams and actually try to catch the fish. I think Andrew and I have caught at least two upper 20s browns that I can think of off the top of my head using this technique, where we saw them one day with a streamer and then came back with a nymph and caught it. The most recent one, which is the biggest fish that I caught this year and landed, I moved on a streamer one day, came back a few days later, and ended up catching it on like a size 18 pheasant tail or something, which is mind-blowing that a fish as big as that was ate a size 18 pheasant tail, but it happens. So, the last bit of advice I'm gonna leave you guys with, this is important, is you can watch these videos all day long. You can watch them till your heart's content. But if you do not go out in the water and actually fish, it means nothing. As I said at the beginning of this video, time on the water is king. And if you're not going out and fishing as much as you physically can with the amount of time you have, then you're not going to get better. And you can't watch these videos and watch how I strip streamers in and then expect to be able to replicate that and go out in an hour and be able to do exactly what I'm doing, because it's not going to work. I've put hours and hours and hours and hours into fishing. So get out in the water, have fun with it, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode of Hardman Fishing Adventures.